Hi everyone. So we had posted a question on Tuesday and I will be covering the answer for it in this video. So the main question was, what is tongue-jaw discoordination? To explain this, I will be sharing a small video where the person was asked to lateralize the tongue and then elevate it later. So while we are seeing the video, I want you all to notice the tongue and the jaw movement of the person. So let's see. So what did you notice? We saw that the tongue and the jaw were moving together. That is, if the tongue went towards the right, even the jaw shifted to the right. And the same happened during elevation, right? So this exactly is what tongue-jaw discoordination is. That is, the tongue and the jaw cannot move independently. But why does it matter? Because most of the sounds that we produce, the alveolars, the rhotic, the palatals, all sounds require a good coordination, a good tongue-jaw coordination. That is, they should move independently yet in sync. Let me give you an example here. Let's say I want to say the word pot. While I'm saying the word, the part or, my jaw depresses, and due to the co-articulation effect, my tongue simultaneously elevates to touch the alveolar ridge for the t, right? However, now if I have tongue-jaw discoordination, my tongue will not be able to do that independent elevation motion and instead depress with the jaw, right? And due to this, my sound will either become distorted or completely substituted by another sound. And this also has implications in feeding. Why? Because when we are chewing, the food is onto the premolars and molars, the mandible crushes them, so it falls medially on the tongue, where due to the chewing rotary motion, it is again placed back on the premolars and molars, and thus the chewing cycle continues. But if I have tongue-jaw discoordination, I won't be able to manage this food in my mouth. And that is why we see that a lot of young kids who have this, they'll generally be very messy eaters, or they'll be very picky because they'll avoid foods that they know that they cannot manage it, right? And this is applicable to both adults as well as children. So I guess this answers our first question, that should it be present or no. The answer is no, it should not be present. And moving on to the next question, how will we assess it? It's really simple. Going back to our first video, you ask the patient to open their mouth wide and ask them to lateralize the tongue and also elevate. And there you notice if the jaw is moving with the tongue or it is being stable, right? That is the assessment part of it. And for the treatment part, that is the 5 exercises. So I'll be showing you all videos of it directly, so it's easier to understand. So let's see the videos. So what I'll be doing here is, I'll be giving you all a short description of the exercise first, and then I'll just let you all see the video. Okay, so I'll be taking each exercise like that. So let's get started. The first one is the same thing that we do in assessment. That is, we ask the patient to open their mouth and lateralize the tongue. The only difference here is that we will be giving the jaw a stability using bite blocks, or you all can make your own bite block using a bundle of ice cream sticks. Just stack all 6-7 ice cream sticks together and you can make your own bite block. So how to place it and how is the patient doing, you'll see in the video. So let's see. Okay, so the second exercise is the same thing. Here the only difference is we will be elevating the tongue instead of lateralizing. So just watch how it's being done. So the third exercise is using chewy tubes. Chewy tubes actually help us develop the tone and the strength of the masseter muscles, and it also helps develop the chewing rotatory motion, which is required for feeding as well as speech. So I don't have chewy tubes with me at the moment, so I have used a YouTube video for demonstration. The only thing here is, make sure when you are using chewy tubes, the child is doing a rotatory motion and not just an up-down motion, because that's not what we want. That doesn't help us. And this wasn't really visible clearly in the video, so I'm mentioning it now. So, and for those of you who have no idea what Chewy Tubes is, I would suggest go to talktools.com and visit their website. They have all the details about Chewy Tubes and also other tools. And if anybody wants to buy Chewy Tubes, it's available on Amazon. So let's watch the video. The fourth one is almond rotation. So here you take an almond, walnut or anything of that size and you instruct the patient that you will be placing that almond in his mouth and he's not supposed to chew it or bite on it. Instead, he has to take the almond from this end to this end using his tongue. And during he does that, while he does that, you will also have to provide stability to his jaw. How? You will again be using your bite blocks or the ice cream stick bundle that you made. So how exactly you are doing this, just see in the video. Final exercise, the fifth one, is actually quite the opposite of what we are doing till now. In this, we will be stabilizing the tongue and moving the jaw. So you will instruct the patient that he has to lift his tongue up and place it behind his teeth or on the alveolar ridge, and he has to move his mandible, his jaw up and down. And while his tongue should be still placed in that position, it should not move, the tongue should not move. Okay, so how is it being done? Just watch the video. So yes, these were our 5 exercises. I hope you all learned something, and if you all have any doubts or you all can add on more exercises that you use, more than happy to hear them. So you all can comment down below or you all can just leave us a message. Thank you.